with that first win.
Now, when it comes to drafts as well, I want to see how they are going to be holding it up for now, because when it comes to Geek Slate as well as EVOS Icon, do you think they have understood each other long enough because they've played in MPL as well as MPL, and because it's from the same region, they know how to play against each other?
100%. Like, Geek Slate has performed in a couple of tournaments, maybe not necessarily in the professional league, but outside of that, right? EVOS Icons, they have been proven to be better than majority, well, basically all the tier 2s in Indonesia. So this is going to be a very important match to kind of see where their benchmark is. How much have they grown since the first time they went into the MDL till now?
Now, moments away from starting things off here. One final slot in towards the seasons. I want to see how the challenge season is going to be looking like with either of these teams, but obviously, you know, when it comes to experience, when it comes to strategy, it all comes down to a battle of wits as well as stamina. So in this case, a full best of 3 is going to be the way to go. And I think yesterday's game, we had a perfect example of talking about conditioning your opponents. In this case, do you think, because of the fact that Geek Slate is going to be bringing in the Natalia as well as Saber over this couple of days now, it has kind of conditioned EVOS Icon in a way that they are fearful with it?
We'll see in the draft. Unless they ban it out, I don't think so, right? I think, you know, the draft itself shows a lot about where their power rankings in terms of heroes, where their priorities, what kind of strategies they're going to be looking for overall, right from the very beginning, right? And until I get that indication, I feel that both teams are going to play. I'm going to steal a term from other titles here. They're basically going to default, right? They're going to play their standard gameplay, something that they know naturally and instinctually. That way, their coach generally doesn't have to think too far apart about the individual team mistakes and start really looking for that counter draft in game number 2.
See, that's the thing, right? When you mention default, I feel like when it comes to their playstyles, that's the reason why I actually voted for EVOS Icon. They have a much more solid default plan compared to Geek Slate, but that's the thing, right? Different teams have different defaults. So I want to see how things go, because as of yet, the draft is on its way right from the get-go. Geek Slate will ban off and respect the Kadida coming from EVOS Icon, but for Ramis, Melissa, 1-1 as well as group will be banned off on this first phase for now.
Interesting. So Geek Slate trying to make sure that they don't have potential flex picks in the mid support section, but they also get rid of Melissa. It feels that Geek Slate is a little scared of the AoE, or at the very least they want to play a hero that can get on top of the marksman. Potential Paquito, we'll see. This is all just speculation as we look over at EVOS Icon, waiting for them to finish up their very third ban, and they're going to bring it right down to the last one. Yes, Joy gets banned out. Now, Kaja is still available. Arlot is also still available. Farmis Glue have been banned out. All the artillery mages are available. Geek Slate decide to go for this Mincetar straight away from the get-go. Man, I would say it's kind of bold.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of the Mincetar first pick because based on the current meta, but Geek Slate is pretty much one of the very few that prioritizes it and plays it on the XP lane as a damage Mincetar, which personally, you pretty much win your 1v1 matches most of the time, but in terms of overall team fight, it feels very, very risky because it feels like Geek Slate once again is leaning on this fact that they just want to go all in, burst one guy down and just mess up, and this is something that they have repetitively done because they demonstrated this Saber composition as well as the Natalia. So it makes a lot of sense why they still want to play this playstyle by banning off the Melissa as an opening, but now EVOS Icon, how do they handle this? It is going to be the Frederick as well as the Valentina as a standard opening.
Yep, so King's calling on Geek Slate's side, and technically King's calling on EVOS Icon's side as it can be stolen. It's a pretty big ultimate here, and based on what I've seen off of the MPL Indonesia, right, especially towards their playoffs, we did see an upsurge of Mincetar when it first was introduced. And I think, you know, that's the kind of playstyle and mentality that Geek Slate is walking into this, right? They want to have the best odds possible, and still, Mincetar is very, very flexible. It can go into the EXP as well as going into the roam. If you want to throw it into the jungle, I think that's like a little too far, but hey, some people like it. I can't deny them that. Geek Slate, they're going to be locking in the Lancelot for Hades. I think that is a honestly phenomenal pick for him.
Now, let's talk a little bit more on the toolkits of what Mincetar can provide, right? Like, instead of, like I was mentioning from a Geek Slate's perspective where he does have habits. They do have habits on how they want to play this game, but in terms of opening up the options, Mincetar can't deny any kind of assassin junglers to try and flank the backline. You drop the perfect King's Calling, if an Hayabusa gets caught in it, it's pretty much dead. in that regard. So it kind of stops EVOS Icon from going the kind of angle in that regards. But seeing that they've already opened up the Fredrin means that EVOS Icon, you know what, you're not playing assassins, it's okay, we play the traditional front to front. It might be a plan, but I feel like EVOS Icon will strive better by playing the, I would say, the tanky roamers rather than the flanking type of roamers.
I mean, they're reliable, but is it necessary, right? I mean, looking at EVOS Icon's overall lineup, I think that the Fredrin is still in a position of flex. I feel like Geek Slate in this particular side, they are setting up for a team fight comp. It's very clear, but more so, it is leaning more into the attributes of sieging their opponent. So I'm thinking the Beatrix is going to get picked up here for the side of Geek Slate. And the fact that EVOS Icon conveniently showed that Claude, even it works with the game plan that Geek Slate want to actually provide.
They really don't like mobility characters. In this case, Geek Slate, they don't really want EVOS Icon to have an answer to deal with this Lancelot. So I guess that's the reason why they actually ban off the Kufra as well as the Atlas. But Akai is still technically in the pool as well.
Not as good, though.
Not as great, to be honest. But EVOS Icon, they need something to actually have a way to deal with this Lancelot. And forcing a Franco here, personally, I'm not a big fan, but isn't too bad if you think about it.
What else could they go for? Grok?
Grok,
Yeah,
obviously, for the Farsa.
I mean, Grok just for the Farsa, but also just for the potential to try and catch the Lancelot. Even the knockup from the Wild Charge could buy that little bit of time that EVOS Icon needs to win out the Retribution battle, the 50-50.
Wait.
Hades has been winning out, and we do see the Arlot still, so it's going to be support Mintatar.
Okay, if I do recall correctly, a couple of days ago, they did play a Roam Arlot, right? Was it Geek Slate?
Was it Geek Slate?
I think it was Geek Slate that played the roaming Arlot and put the Minster at XP. Personally, I like the Minster on a row position, but this kind of messes up in my head a little
I
bit.
think you're talking about Bigatron Beta.
Oh yeah, I think it's
Beta,
Bigatron
right?
Beta.
It was Hai who was playing the Arlot in the support section. I don't know if this is going to be the same case though. At the end of the day, it's up to EVOS Icon because Novaria.
Oh, okay.
Novaria gets locked in here. 15 times banned. 8 times picked, looking pretty decent. High damage, but unfortunately, we haven't seen a win on it on the English broadcast just yet. I have heard that it has a couple of wins on the other matches, just not here.
Yeah, I want to see how it goes as well because EVOS Icon, they do bring up this Novaria, brings so much vision control, it kind of limits the options as well. I guess that's the idea, expecting maybe they could have gone for a Natalia pickup, but they were pretty much last pick, so I'm very surprised that they got away with it, but I want to see how they actually play around this because in terms of setups, there's only the Grok and the Fredrin as an initial setup to actually chain towards the Astro Recall.
I mean, we're making some big assumptions here, right? Because at the end of the day, the Novaria is going to try and open up the map. I want to see how she attacks the side lanes. I want to see how she's, timing her abilities to make sure she gets maximum effect because that's the biggest problem in Novaria, right? You're waiting for her cooldowns half the time.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the final day for the SPS Open Finals here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Geek Slate going up against EVOS Icon with Geek Slate on the blue side and EVOS Icon on the red side.
Let's jump right into it here. I did see the Valentina walk up into the EXP lane, so she's looking to hit level 2 early with Grok and maybe turn things around very, especially for these upcoming Lethal Wanderer fight, right? No, it's too far away. It's way too far away.
Geek Slate, they are just going to be focusing on the gold lane once again. I was expecting maybe they are going to be setting up for the XP lane, which in this case, EVOS Icon is technically trying to condition down towards the bottom lane, but it seems like Geek Slate, they just want to play mid-control, I guess.
I think Geek Slate, they just want to minimize how much Doma interacts with Kadera, right? And at the end of the day, even though Kadera technically should be able to win that 1v1 because of her passive, Doma is playing Avarice, right? So every time you have a little bit of pressure, Doma has to back away, and that means he is losing time stacking up Avarice.
That's the thing about this kind of Avarice interaction, right? Like any interaction is going to benefit the Avarice a little bit more because of their stats. They do have a hybrid regen. Let me double check real quick here. Does he have hybrid regen? Oh no, he doesn't.
No,
actually.
cooldowns.
Okay. He went for cooldowns. All right.
Yep, he went. The jungle.
Wait, he actually went for
cooldowns.
penetration. Right.
He decided to go. Yeah, I mean, of course, you got it. The most important thing is at least he has movement to me, but Hades is going to find this easy first blood in that mid lane crit. Just unable to get out of there in time with just the raw burst that came out from Hades. Now bot side getting affected.
Well, a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, they are going to force the issue down bottom as well. We have Eldora trying to go for the dive, but he will get picked off by the feathered airstrike. And the great Appraiser's Wrath is huge, but not enough to get the kill. Now he's going to be stranded all by himself, but he will be able to get out. But the final section comes in. Okay. Geek was not expecting that as well, but the rest of EVOS Icon has finally come in. But a snipe coming in from Ivan. It does connect, and Luke will pay the price. So they do salvage the situation a little bit, but Turtle will be contested for it now for Geek Slate. They need someone to come in. Can they get Fredrin in time? But no, they don't. But Ivan! He gets the recall done again. Not once. He saves the day for EVOS Icon.
2 for 2 for Ivan right now. 2 for 2, landing 2 impactful shots. 1 to get a kill. Oh my god, he nearly got a second one there onto Hades.
You know, it's funny how he's able to get those shots, but it's not over yet. Sutsujin, what are you doing? Ah, boy, gets a very nice trade off. Hi, Hades. Is he going to die? And Crit will kill him off with the stolen Phantom Execution. Now he's going to get hooked back. Can he get out to safety? This is a mage we're talking about, but the regen comes in. He's buying so much time. Can he survive? No, he actually forces them to commit to this as well. He's still alive, and that is going to be his final downfall. But space has been created for topside.
Yeah, this allows Ivan to kind of roam away from the mid lane, right? The mid lane gets cleared up. He instantly starts running towards the top side of the map. And now, unfortunately for Kadera, he's got to play a little careful, right? He doesn't expect to get hit by too many of these shots at the end of the day. But EVOS Icons need to start unlocking him. It sucks that he's stuck in that lane, but the longer he stays in it, the better. Doma, on the other hand, wants to be able to double this carry's farm by rotating around the map, and especially towards the mid lane to catch the wave.
Yep, now it comes down towards the gold plating as well. You can see it's a slight win into his Kadera's favor. He's got the Purify as well, which is a little bit interesting considering the fact that maybe he just wants to negate the slows coming from Novaria, might be even the Terrify or even the Wall Charge as well. But on side, Eldora is not having a good time at all against this Arlott.
I mean, it's a Grok matchup into the Arlott. Both don't really get too far. If they play it perfectly, it's pretty much not a non-volatile map. Both heroes shouldn't be allowed to kill each other. But look at how long Beloyski has been sitting on this top side, hoping to kill Doma.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be happening. But bottom side, he popped out as well. They can't unlook as well. He's so slow that he cannot get out. So that's going to be a free B for EVOS Icon. Meanwhile, top side, Doma actually gets out with no contest. But the Turtle is going to be up for grabs as well. And as you can see, the Turtle going to be in favor of EVOS Icon, and Geek Slate currently has no position contest at all.
Can't do much about this. EVOS Icon have full control. A majority of Geek Slate members were on the top side of the map, and they were almost successful in killing Doma, but it was at the cost of a lot of battle spells, right? Beloyski having to use his Flicker and the King's Calling. They don't have their great ultimate, so therefore, neutral objectives, you shouldn't contest it.
EVOS Icon having so much range coming from the out as well. It's scary to see that, you know, despite not having a roamer that is going to be in your face checking, bush checking, they're taking advantage of this damage output they have. But in this case, Geek Slate is going to be looking to try and return with the Feathered Airstrike, but it is going to be on cooldown for now. But oh boy, the snipes! It does stop Beloyski from recalling back.
Beloyski, luckily he does have the magic resist boots, so that's to keep him alive for now. Hades on the opposite side of the map will not be able to secure this tier 1 as Veldora clears the wave. If we look at EVOS Icon, look at the amount of people in the mid lane looking to punish Kadera.
Kadera, he's gonna be scouted out as well. He's right in tier 2. This is a recall coming from Ivan, but Beloyski tries to retaliate as he drops the King's Calling, but where's the follow-up? He will get chipped away by the Claude, but at the same time, EVOS Icon to get away with this kill and a tier 1.
Oh, Doma almost got punished there. He almost got punished. He switched over from his BMI very honestly, I would say that he switched positions with it at a good time. It's just that the Spear of Glory is a little awkward. It does stop once it reaches its maximum length and then pull back. There's a very short period of time where it lingers around.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit difficult. But purple buff contest once again. This time on this side, Doma goes in for a blazing duet. They find Beloyski, and that's going to be our boy being caught out by Veldora from the flanks. And Geek Slate Fortunately, they are not in position to fight this at all. Luke, a little bit late to the party, and EVOS Icon now, with their numbers advantage, they are going to try and potentially threaten mid tower. Nope, not going to happen. They are going to focus on objectives instead.
Yep, the turtle is going to be way more valuable for EVOS Icon here. So far, Geek Slate, I mean, unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get any lane advantages, unlike EVOS Icon. And now because of that, they're able to kind of spill that over for these takes on the turtle. Ivan opens up the map on the orange side, making sure that Geek Slate don't even come remotely close to it.
Yeah, cheeky boy there. He even tried to snipe off the orange buff. Unfortunately, not gonna happen. But with all this vision control and map control, EVOS Icon, they are gonna take a tier 1 down bottom, but middle lane here, a little bit threatened here. Geek Slate, however, takes a tier 1 up top, so there is gonna be trades across the map for now.
Can't do much about that. You only have so much pressure. You know, it's a very large map, and Hades now starting to adjust a little bit better to Ivan's overall skill shots. Now, Mildora, on the other hand, now that he's unlocked from his lane, can look to be making these big plays against the carry.
Oh boy, Hades so slowed as well with the hitbox coming in recall. Hades is no points gonna back off, but Mildora, is he gonna go for it? He's got the Master Assassin though. But does he wanna go for the kill? Unfortunately, that's not gonna be happening. EVOS still lurking around. They're still trying to make sure that Doma gets his farm up top, and Geek Slate, they're just letting this happen for now.
Can't do much about it. They have to play as 5. That's what their team composition is dedicated in doing. But EVOS Icon, just look at the EXP that they've developed for themselves, right? Citrugen, a level above Hades right now. Boy, even with Ivan, but not at the same time. Oh my God, they're actually gonna get this.
No, actually he's gonna get out as well. They are gonna hold on for now, but at the same time, EVOS Icon, they finally realized that by hovering down to his middle lane, Kadera was able to get so much value down bottom lane from the farm and half HP on this tier 2. So this kind of opens up a little bit of opportunity for Geek Slate, but the orange buff gets stolen by Citrugen.
That's what you want to see. Junglers get ahead. Oh, Beloy!
Oh my goodness, the King's Calling drops onto his Doma. He is going to be the point of interest. They focus him down. They get the kill. Now, the Astral out coming in will slow it down, but they just can't finish off the back lines, and they only be able to catch off Luke. The snipes come in. Nope, doesn't connect, but they will trade another one with Luke as well. But Geek Slate, they have to run off, and EVOS Icon, how are they getting all these kills? Boy, he's stuck against the 1v1 with Citrugen as well. Ivan missing the shot, but eventually Crit will finish him off, and a 3 for 2, and they're still looking for more. Kadera, is he going to be able to do so much? Nah, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about this.
What EVOS Icon is especially good at, it's stuff.
Oh
Ivan.
boy, Ivan, he's got the get. Okay, he's fine. He's fine.
Thank goodness, the bottom jungle was completely cleared out. Now, as I was saying, EVOS Icon, what they're really good at is just overall staggering your death timers. So everybody spawns at a weird time.
And Final Slash actually catches on Crit as well with the Lord down to his 20% HP. Do they get it? Yes, they still secure the Lord, but at the same time, EVOS Icon, they are going to collapse at Loisky as he is going to be the first to fall. Geek Slate used up all their utilities to fall to this fight, and now with the Astral coming in, he might be in trouble. Hades goes for the side step. It's going to be fine. It's fine.
He's okay. With lore pushing now, EVOS Icon need to develop this into at least the 6k gold lead. If they get an inhibitor, that's like way more than they were asking for. But all the outer tier turrets, that's definitely possible.
At the same time, Feather Dash Strike is going to be used to try and clear the middle lane here, but this tier 1 down middle is going to fall. They do catch one straggler here. Luke is going to be focused down. He's trying his best to buy time for Geek Slate, but guess what? The rest of Geek Slate, they just completely let him to die.
I mean, what were they realistically going to do, right? Beloyski still needs to have his flicker available if he wants to make some kind of crazy engage onto EVOS Icon, right? Until then, you expect him to play a little bit behind. He's not exactly the tankiest boy in the world, but that King's Calling is just too powerful of a spell to waste without the flicker.
I agree, but let's take a look at the items real quick as well. It seems like, like you said as well, Beloyski is still very far off with his items here. He's actually going for a hybrid attack, a physical attack as well as defensive build. So he's, like you said, as well, he's not super tanky. So I guess they're buying time for Beloyski to be able to face check this.
Buying time for Malloy. I don't think they need to buy time for Malloy, right? I think what we need is that carry to have that fourth item to get that Winds of Nature to be relevant in these fights and survive a blazing duet from Doma.
I guess, but the spear missing as well. EVOS Icon looking to knock on those inhibitors as well. They have this level lead as well as gold lead, but now they make a tap. King's Calling comes in, Beloyski. They focus on boy, no, what? How? Feathered Airstrike was completely negated, and now Beloyski, they are gonna get tagged down by EVOS Icon with Doma gonna go for the kill. Hades tried to go for a kill. Unfortunately, he will get picked off by Doma, so that's gonna be a 3-for-1 nothing exchange.
That's for Novaria for you. You're standing still. Oh boy, it's target practice time.
Oh boy, that is scary. Geek Slate, they felt like they had a little bit of hope, but EVOS Icon, they have bigger objectives on priorities, or clearer priorities in this regard.
EVOS Icon didn't exactly get that 6K gold lead that we were looking for, but then again, they can still develop this even further. Geek Slate, hold on for now. No inhibitor losses, so they're not at a disadvantage macro-wise. They just have a lot less vision room to play. But let's look at that one more time, right? Oh, so we see that Crit. We do see that Crit decides to go and steal the feather to try and make that play himself. But then Ivan, he notices, wait a second, that feather airstrike is going to hit my whole entire team, and there's a very clear pathway towards it. He shoots him at max range and chunks him out completely.
That's crazy. That is crazy for this, I would say Farsa. I feel like Aboy is not having the greatest game, even though it's got 6-3-0, but that defense looks really solid for Geek Slate.
I think Geek Slate, they just need to adapt to it, right? Somebody needs to be able to face tank it, and I think in this case, it's going to be Luke.
Now, I'm curious to see what Ivan has as well, because in terms of itemization, I think he has like Quantum Destiny, the Lightning Sugar, and the Divine Glaive, so that's a lot of damage for only the first 3 items. So, not the traditional item we're talking about, but it is going to be full burst. However, they are going to collapse on this fight. The King's Calling has been dropped, but the EVOS Icon, they just tank through it. They pick them all bit by bit, and now the Lord is still going to expose. Hades, he finally goes in for the push, but he have the damage to steal the Lord? No, they don't. And EVOS Icon, just like that tree goes down, the Astro Recall finds Luke as well. But Geek Slate, it's gonna be a tough defense for this fight.
It really is gonna be a tough defense for them. I thought that maybe Hades was gonna pull it out from his pockets once again and win out that Retribution fight, even though he wasn't supposed to. EVOS Icon don't even give him that opportunity. This inhibitor will fall, and let's see if they can crack this base open.
Yeah, with the Lord down to 100% here, Hades gonna be back in 10 seconds. It's gonna be 4v5. EVOS Icon, they are gonna try and make a play out of this though. Ivan doesn't have the Astro out yet, but they are gonna go for the final slash. Look, he goes in for the beginning here. They do burst down Ivan, a big catch coming in, but now EVOS Icon, they're stuck in this damage. Or stolen final slash kind of making this fight, but Geek Slate, they will be able to pick them off. Kadera somehow survives. He actually trades off with the Claude, so this buys them a little bit more hope. But EVOS Icon, he needs to back off Hades. He wants to fight Sister Jin, but Doma is just so strong right now. He's just auto-attacking his way through. It all comes down towards a 2v2. Luke, he's going to try with better airstrike, but Doma, he doesn't have the cooldowns to back off in that fight, so that's Geek Slate holding on.
Oh man, he didn't realize how close Aboy actually was, or the overall range of the feathered airstrike. He thought he was safe. He couldn't even see Aboy on the map at that point in time, or he was just so far away on that corner that he didn't think it was going to matter, but unfortunately, it did. EVOS Icon finally making the first blunder in this matchup. More importantly, so they're still at a 5K goal lead, right? So it's not the end of the world. Geek Slate is missing a mid-inhibitor, and in this next 85 seconds, they have to deliberate how in the world are they going to crack open EVOS Icon, because so far they've been playing front to front.
It's crazy, but so far the biggest threat, it feels like it is going to be Ivan, right, on this Novaria. Like, Geek Slate, the only reason why Geek Slate kind of won that was because of the fact that Luke was able to catch Ivan in between the fights, and because Ivan wasn't able to contribute to his fight, it's crazy. So, in case you missed out on action here, yeah, you can see, based on this recap, instantly with the combo final slash catching everyone from EVOS Icon, allowing for major stunts in these setups.
Yeah, just getting pulled back into the middle of that turret, especially when you're on the push as well. EVOS Icon just didn't want to fight there, but Geek Slate were able to kind of push their agenda and actually execute upon it, right? If you look back at the current situation live, though, I think that, you know, overall, Geek Slate probably could be looking for more ways to maybe even out the score, and especially since they hit the power spike, these tier 2 turrets.
Oh boy, now the Stolen King's Calling coming for crit as well. He's gonna get pulled back. He will get bursted down. He tries to slow them down, but they're pretty low. Geek Slate, they need to make a run for it over here. Doma finds the ones on the sides, but at the same time, Geek Slate, they are getting picked apart. EVOS, they are giving chase. And Kadera somehow gets the recall back, but he will potentially lose Luke. But no! Luke! He actually turns the tides and trades one with himself, and he's buying time for the rest of Geek Slate. But how long can he call on? They are bringing in Doma with the final slash comes in. He's looking to kill potentially Doma, but the Winds of Nature keeps Doma alive. While Geek Slate, they shift their focus. They are going to try and steal the Lord right under noses from EVOS Icon. Tsutsuji sees this, but he does have the Retribution, but Hades takes it, and now all they need to do is get out. Kadera in an awkward position. Wall charge from Wildora catches him, but the Winds of Nature will allow him to disengage. Hades at a slimmer of health, but EVOS Icon, they lose out the Lord trade.
The chemistry from Geek Slate, impeccable. Impeccable. 2v2, they see what's going on. They realize that EVOS Icon are going to start collapsing on them. They secured their Lord. Hades winning out is 50-50. Also, with just the raw power coming in from Kadera, he could time it a lot better. EVOS Icon, unfortunately, even on the chase down, Geek Slate managed to save a majority of their members, knowing that Claude is going to burst down Kadera immediately after the Winds of Nature, so he has to slow down. Susujin Doma as well as Crit.
Oh boy, Geek Slate, this is an opportunity for them, right? Like, they're doing so well, and we're talking about buying time here. Loyski is starting to hit a little bit harder than I was expecting as well. He actually has a Corrosion Scythe and the DHS, and it seems like, you know, when he drops the King's Calling, any mages getting caught off from EVOS Icon is going to potentially get dropped as well. Astro Alt has been used as well for the Novaria. The tier inhibitor is going to be getting chipped away, but Geek Slate, I think they will back off, but not getting the inhibitor, but they will settle down in the middle fight as well. They caught out Wildora. Do they have the damage? Fantasy execution being used. Wildora chips away and lose the first immortality. They are going to try and kill him off, but Wildora, can he get out? He is buying a little bit of space here, but Hades, he might be caught out as well. The stolen final slash will get him, and that's going to be Geek Slate losing 2 in this trade-off.
These fights are getting messier and messier here. EVOS Icon, they managed to pull 2 back into their pockets. 25-14 current kill score, but the gold lead doesn't even matter. Geek Slate has gone past the hardest part of the game and now are looking to pull it against EVOS Icon in the ultra late stages. 72 more seconds until the next Lord's Bond, but let's have a look at the gold earned.
Now, New Doma still very top in charts as well, so it's going to be a battle between both Kadera as well as Doma. But seeing the items here, Winds of Nature is going to be available up on both sides, I guess, based on this fight. Yeah, they do have it, so that's going to be a very important factor. However, EVOS Icon, they take another inhibitor up top, so that's going to be 2 lanes shoved in for EVOS Icon.
Let's see how they play it out, because Aboy now finally has the items, the economy to actually one-shot a majority of the members of EVOS Icon, right? If we're looking at the items as well, I'm not seeing much MR. I'm seeing 1 Athena Shield from Sutsujin. I'm seeing 1 more from Veldora, but that's about it. So that means 3 members are susceptible to the Feathered Airstrike. Keep that in mind, right? Because I think this is going to be a very big moment for Geek Slate.
Ooh, speaking of moments here, 20 seconds before this next Lord, and EVOS Icon starting this off with Ivan, using the Astro Out to try to check the bushes on the top side. So they know that Geek Slate is nowhere to be found on the top side, but based on the map here, they do see Beloyski kind of showing himself on the top side to potentially try and threaten the top inhibitor. So I guess this is go time for EVOS Icon to actually take the Lord right now.
Yeah, they
should, right?
I mean, I think that it's a little tough, right? They can start rushing it now, but if Geek Slate show up, that's when it slows down.
Well, in this case, Beloyski still showing himself up top. He might be able to steal it, but at the same time, EVOS Icon, they are going to hold Geek Slate hostage, but at the same time, it's dropping so low. Beloyski already taking the inhibitor up top. Meanwhile, the fight will be forced out. Hades will be the first of all. Doma immediately goes in for the kill. They take down the Landslot, and the Lord will be secured, but at the same time, they kill Hades and Luke. They need to back out somehow. They only send 1, which is Crit, and Crit is getting potentially destroyed by Beloyski, but no! Crit, he actually wins his 1v1, and now Geek Slate, they've lost everything in from this gamble. And now Kadera still holding on. EVOS Icon here, looking to close out the first game. They are at the doors of the Crystal. Kadera needs to defend on the bottom side as well. Veldora to play the safety net. They chip away the final inhibitor away from Geek Slam. But Ivan, he takes Aboy down. Veldora tries to go to forward wild charge. Kadera still holding on, but this is only a carry. Immortality pops up, but it doesn't matter. It's over. EVOS Icon takes game 1.
They take game 1, 30-15 against Geek Slate so far. A good start for the EVOS Icon boys, and now they've denied that momentum from Geek Slate. They were playing a little cold today, but EVOS Icon, they're all warmed up, they're ready. They are so sharp.
1 game away But in this case, one game away to heading into the challenge season. EVOS Icon very, very close to that dream. However, for Geek Slate, it seems like it's back to the drawing board for them because they need to change up so much more based on how things are going down here. But so far, I like that they actually understood what